match between Norths and the Seagulls-Diehards. Well, the last time these two teams met was in the Woolies, and the Diehards got home by 32 points to 12. Mick Vivers, do you think they'll continue on their winning way?
Yes, I feel they will, Alan. They showed me enough in that Woolies final against Logan City that they've got a pretty good side, and they'll continue. Even though Coyne's out, I think they can really get on top.
Righto, let's have a look at the team that the Diehards confront this afternoon, and Greg Oliphant has got a lot of power through his forward pack. As we look at the full run on side for Norths, Marty Monaghan's the fullback. The wingers are Guy Harvey and Wayne Williams. Cameron Kelso's in for his brother Brett in the centres to partner Peter Hamilton. Neil Wharton's the 5'8", Steve Kavanagh the halfback. Kieran Jackson's the lock forward. Simon Sara, a young 21-year-old from Bundaberg, big raps on him. He's in the second row with the captain Daryl Duncan. The front row is Steve Herman and Gordon Reid, and the hooker is Kevin Beach. Now, there's a couple of changes to the Diehards lineup as we have a look at the team which Rossi Henrik will put on the park this afternoon. The fullback is Steve Hegarty. The wingers are Shane Buckley and Peter Shields. The centres are Brett Runge, who's in for Stephen Boys, and he'll partner Kelly Egan. This young fellow, originally from Cairns, Kelly Egan, has been playing very good football. He'll be one to watch this afternoon. The 5'8" is Darryl Gray. The halfback is Brett Daunt. The lock forward is Wayne Cullen. And the second rowers are Richard Boys and Ziggy Strasser, the captain. The front row, Joe Bozzi, Lindsay Williams, and the hooker is Bill Holmes. Andrew Slack, without Peter Coyne, do you think the Diehards can get up?
I don't, Alan. I think the Diehards are in for their toughest test of the 1988 season so far. The loss of Coyne, I don't believe they'll be able to get over. North's front row, I think, a bit stronger. That's where the tale's always told. And with experienced halves of Kavanagh and Wharton, I think the Devils will have the edge at home today.
Referee Greg Patrick blows time on, and the North's Diehards clash underway. Guy Harvey playing with a couple of stitches in his eyebrow is the first to take the ball, and short of the quarterway, he's put to ground. This is Simon Zara. He's well and truly tackled. Ziggy Strasser. Gordon Reid. So North's in possession just outside the quarterway. That's come off Wharton. Monaghan will go back and knocked it on. So this is danger time for Norths. Monaghan knocking the ball on right in front of the sticks.
Well, they should have immediately kicked that ball out of down there. They've got a nice breeze behind them and they didn't use it immediately. Now they're defending within 12, 15 metres of their line, and they're in great trouble, and Diehards have the feed.
It'll be Brett Daunt to feed. Greg Patrick, the referee, just telling both packs what's required in this match here this afternoon. Gray, 5 metres out. On the blind side is with Richard Boys. Holmes to dummy half. Cullen. Hold him out was the call. North's defence to the fore. It's with Holmes and now Daunt. Strasser looking for a half gap, but he's well and truly tackled. Now with Daunt, and this is Shields. Peter Shields tackled about 15 metres out. Through Daunt. Chips for Cullen over the top. Through is Buckley. It's off bouncing hands, and Norths are going to come up with possession. Midway between the quarter and the halfway. Inside North's territory is where Gordon Reid will take on the Diehards defence. Duncan. Herman. Short pass to Zara. And they made good ground, the Devils. Kavanagh. Wharton, the two ball players. Then it goes to Cameron Kelso. Short pass back to Wharton. Here comes Hegarty. He'll get him. North's last tackle coming up. It keeps going with Kieran Jackson, and Duncan's put it down. Strasser. Holmes on his own. So the Diehards are back inside the North quarter. It's now with Daunt. Gray cutting back in field. And that's where Darryl Gray goes to ground. Strasser into dummy half, a little bit disorganised again. It's gone to Cullen, who's running hard, and this is Rung. And Brett Rung's tackled about 12 metres out from the try line. Cullen takes it the blind side, and Daunt again setting up play. He's in. Slicing straight through like a knife through butter. Brett Daunt in to score. And now the Diehards lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, I was saying Daunt's holding the ball up nicely, and he does it here. Watch him. Ball in both hands, throws the little dummy, and he had enough pace clapped on going across field that when he straightened up, he was long gone. Beat the defence.
Well, Brett Daunt showing the ball and showing the way. Of course, I suppose with Peter Coyne out with a broken nose, a lot of the organisation of the Diehards team is going to centre around Brett Daunt.
Well, he's not doing a bad job of it so far. Most impressive.
Only 22 years of age too, Brett. He's got a lot of football in front of him. Originally from Gympie. So we're now with Steve Hegarty, who's got an imposing record. He's kicked 23 goals so far this season.
Very handy man to have in the team, this fellow. There's all about him. 26, married, salesman. Height, 183 centimetres. I still got to divide that down and bring it into inches and then into feet, but still.
Has it placed. And that won't quite get there. So Hegarty fails to convert Dawn's try. And you're watching Sports Sunday League. It's the Diehards 4, Norths 0. Beach distributes through Kavanagh, decides to have a little dance on his own. He's tackled by Cullen. Beach. Duncan. Duncan very close to the try line. Kavanagh. Wharton. A grubber. He'll score. That's good football. That's a good try and a clever try to Neil Wharton. And that makes it 4 points all with the kick to come, so Norths are back in business.
Oh, that was a superb individual effort. I was wondering when they were going to chip it over the top, but Wharton changed. He just put it on the boot and picked it up beautifully and cleanly. If the line was another 6 metres away, he may have fell over, but really, as you watch it here, very clever football. The gap was there. He utilised it beautifully, and very quick thinking.
Very clever footballer, Neil Wharton. He had bad luck last year. He broke his leg at the beginning of last season. Only came back in the latter part. So Guy Harvey is the leading point scorer in the Winfield Cup so far this season with 18 points. And he should make no mistake with this. And this should take him to 20. Completes the formality. So Norths now lead the Diehards in the Sports Sunday League match of the day from Bishop Park by 6 points to 4. Zara. Still going, Simon Zara. Plays it forward. Short pass to Beach. It's going to go loose, but it's gone backwards, and Duncan will pick it up. And the big tank, Darryl Duncan, towards the line. Jackson goes to dummy half. Wharton. Kavanagh. Into the back line comes Monaghan. Still going, and he'll score. Marty Monaghan is in to score, and the Diehards are falling apart at the seams. And North now go to a lead of 10 points to 0.
Oh, there's
10
gaps.
points to 4, I should say.
Sorry about Alan, but as you see, he comes onto the ball, Monaghan, and he's been hitting the ball all afternoon like that. And he's usually made that. You'll see it here from the back. Watch him. Now he takes it, and he takes on one of them. Now two. Then breaks out of that and pulls through Ziggy Strasser's tackle to go over beside the post. And I tell you what, Norths are playing very well indeed. They're finding gaps up the middle of this Diehards ruck that I've never seen there before.
Martin Monaghan, big strong fellow, has played on the wing, has played centre, second row. He plays everywhere. He's a local boy from Aspley, and that was a good gutsy effort to get that ball down. So Harvey should make no mistake, hits it up and over. So in the Sports Sunday League, it's now Norths leading the Diehards by 12 points to 4. So Norths are just outside the quarter again, and it is testing material time for the Diehards, unbeaten so far this season. Gordon Reid. Once again, there was no marker. He could have played that forward. Steve Herman, Kavanagh, Wharton, across the face. Out it goes to Williams, back to Wharton. And so they're only about 18 metres out, the Devils. They've scored 2 tries to 1. Kelso, take it up like a front row forward to settle play. Beach to distribute. Duncan, dummying, getting pretty close to the line. He's got it down. It's a try. And the defence of the Diehards at the moment not existent. Darryl Duncan in to score, and Norths now lead by 16-4.
Oh, let's have a look at this. Darryl Duncan, look, he dummies. You'd have to nearly class this as a soft try. Steve Haggerty was trying to hold on to him, but it was not such a strong effort. Bozzy went high, missed him. Front rowers shouldn't do that. And Duncan, strong fellow. And as you say, the Devils have got their tails up. But you look at this. This is just determination. Bozzy goes high, misses badly. And, of course, that's one-on-one for Haggerty, and he just couldn't handle a fellow of Duncan's size so close to the line.
He's not the easiest man to stop in the world, Darryl Duncan.
There he is, married, truck driver. He's running like a truck this afternoon.
He's been with the North side for a number of seasons now. 100 kgs at the moment, the big tank. That's pretty heavy, Farmer.
I'm not saying a word. I suppose it is getting up there.
Probably a bit under you, but still it's pretty big.
Yes, I wish I was 100.
Not an age.
Now and then I feel that occasionally. I tell you what, the Diehards are in grave trouble, Alan. Now, this breeze isn't their problem. It's the good play of North. Now, these Devils are really... They had a very bad 10 minutes, and they were dropping the ball, missing golden opportunities, but they've really got their act together. And I must say that I thought they'd kick a little bit more, but they haven't had to. They're running the ball 20 and 30 metres as a hit.
And Harvey's missed that. So on Sports Sunday League, it's the North's Devils 16 leading the Diehards 4. About 10 metres out. Trouble time for the Diehards. Norths get over here. It could be shut the gate. Reid. Tackle about 5 metres out. Jackson goes to dummy half. Dummies. Gets the ball down, but he's short of the line. Last tackle coming up. Duncan on his own, and that's about as weak as you'll ever see. Not taking anything away from Darryl Duncan, but he scored the try, but there were just no defence, and Norths now race away to lead by 20 points to 4.
Oh, well, watch this. He goes through Brett Rung. There's Rung. And that was another soft try to Duncan. They're just standing there watching him. Look at this. He picks it up at his fingertips. And we'll have to give little Brett Daunt a little bit of a serve there. Here he is. He goes in. But it wasn't his man. It was Rung's man, and he should have nailed him.
I suppose Daunt didn't have many options. Mick, if he goes around the ankles, Duncan would have been over the try line. He had to go ball and all, but I think if you weigh up the weights, the odds were in the big tank's favour.
100 kgs against something much, much lighter, and half a metre. There it is. Look at the weight. Nickname, Dunk. Well, I tell you what, he's dunking the ball over the line plenty of times, and Diehard's in a heap of trouble. And I don't think all this wind in the second half's going to help them that much unless they really utilise it and utilise it well.
Guy Harvey has the ball set. From the last time he was in about that spot, he hooked it across the face of goal. He'll probably steer this a bit more out to the right. Yes, he's made a better meal of that. That's over. And in Sports Sunday League, Norths now lead the Diehards by 22 points to 4.
Right.
Second half coming up, and that's not a very good scoreline for the Diehards. They trail Norths by 22 points to 4. The only thing in their favour in the second half, McVeevers, is they've got the wind at their backs.
Let's see if they can utilise it. And we'll see a few changes, or one particular change. The man with the ball now, Tim Fuller. Andrew, tell us about what they said in the dressing room at half-time.
Well, not surprisingly, Die-Hard coach Ross Henrik was a little bit disturbed. He just believes that the team hasn't got the desire to do the instructions that he gave them. Greg Oliphant, happy enough, but still believes that man at the marker in defence is not doing his job, and if Die-Hards decide to take it up the middle, that Norse could struggle a little. But generally, he's fairly happy. Henrik wants a bit more attack from his backs, but I believe his backs are probably a bit tired covering his forwards.
And 21, Tim Fuller replaces Wayne Cullen, number 8. Cullen sick at the half-time break. Don't blame him, really. A few of the supporters are pretty crook as well. So Beach to distribute for himself. Little run from dummy half, and he's tackled by his opposite number. Yes, I think Rossi Henrik probably right when he mentioned the word desire. Zara nearly through. Wharton, Hamilton, Duncan, Shields. Tackle by Foster. Lindsay Williams. Joe Bozzi looking for this ball. And that's him with it now. Holmes to dummy half, and it goes to Daunt. There's a switch of play to Darryl Gray. And out wide to Brett Rung, who's running strongly into space. Can he get her? He has. He's got around Monaghan, and he'll score. That is a good try, Brett Rung. He did it all on his own. He beat the cover, and then he beat Monaghan. And the Die-Hards are back, and it only took them 2 minutes into the second half to do it, and North now lead by 22 points to 8.
Here's the switch that you were talking about, and I tell you what, Rung got the ball. Here he is with it now. He dummied to his fullback, Steve Hegarty, and then went on his own. Now, this is where he had to beat the fullback. Oh, and he did it beautifully. Kept from going out of touch and just made it as the North's cover came. But, oh, a great individual effort. A couple more like this, as you can see. Look at the determination. Not good defence from North there. They went high. And, of course, we saw Monaghan coming across, and unfortunately, he went a bit high also. He should have taken him ball and hips and all, thumping in. Here it is, side on. You'll see them coming. There's that high tackle.
Well, he ran with determination, something
now,
that the Die-Hards didn't have in the first
Now, watch him. He went away from Monaghan before Monaghan had him lined up.
So Brett Rung has instilled a little bit of zip into the Die-Hards. North lead 22 to 8. Now, this is a difficult kick, but Hegarty does have a breeze assisting. He'll have to start this out to the right and let the breeze work it back. He's hit it out to the right. Is the breeze bringing it back? It is. Has it got the distance? No. And unfortunately, not for him, but he hit it in the right spot. And North's in the Sports Sunday League now lead the Die-Hards 22 points to 8. They keep it on the short side. That's where Richard Boys goes to ground. But the Die-Hards are in the North's quarter. They trail by 22 to 8. Holmes through Daunt. Gray still dodging and weaving. Back to Holmes. Only about 7 metres from the try line, the Die-Hards. Now it's moved through Gray. Daunt's going for the line, and he will score. It's his second try, and the Die-Hards are coming back. North now lead by 22 points to 12.
Well, it was a nice ball. I think it was Darryl Gray, if I can see it here, that gave it to him, yes. And Daunt, he's pretty tricky, this kid, even though he didn't have to do a lot there. He'd beaten the man one-on-one. There it is. I was right. Gray had it. Did well. That change of direction rocked them, put North right off. And I tell you what, Die-Hards coming back with a vengeance. Different side this second half.
Well, whatever Rossi Henrik said to them at half-time is starting to pay dividends. There's Brett Daunt, ex-Gympie boy. Doesn't mind throwing $2 each way on something on a Saturday afternoon while he's watching Wide World of Sports. And he's having a cracker-jack of a game here this afternoon.
I hope they're not tips that you give him.
They should be. He'd be backing winners. I say so modestly. Hegarty. Over. And so on Sports Sunday League, the gap is closing. Norths lead the Die-Hards 22 to 14. Duncan. Up she goes. It's coming down with snow on it. Shields wait for it. He's dropped it. Wharton's picked it up. I mentioned a couple of moments ago he looks pretty crook, Peter Shields. That could have been evidence of it there. Duncan the short pass towards Foster. And Brad Foster's tackled 10 metres out. Kavanagh, Reid will go straight for the line. With brute strength, he's held up and then pushed back. Beach on his own. He's got it down. That's a try. Kevin Beach in to score. And Norths now lead by 26 points to 14.
Well, the Diehards back to their old antics in the middle of the ruck. A good, determined effort from Kevin Beach. Here it comes, down. We'll watch it from behind. In actual fact, he should not have scored there, but he's beaten 3 men. His opposite number, and Bill Holmes, and a couple of others as well, Ziggy Strasser included.
Good refereeing from Greg Patrick. Put himself on the right spot.
Well, any comeback has been stopped in its tracks by Norths coming in strongly. And a dreadful mistake from the winger. He'll be wishing Peter Shields wished he wasn't in the middle of the park at all.
Guy Harvey has the ball placed. He's been a prolific scorer in the Brisbane competition last year. Product of the Sandgate State High School, Guy Harvey. And that's straight through the high diddle. So you're watching Sports Sunday League, and Norths now go to a lead of 28 to 14. They're only about 5 metres out now, the Diehards. They need to score. They have to score to get into the match. Brett Rung running across the face of goal. Holmes. Strasser. Williams. It's gone back. It's play on. Richard Boys. He's dropped it on the ground, but it's picked up, and that's going to be a try.
Well, out of the mistakes come tries.
Darryl Pitt. Well, that was the funniest try I've ever seen. The ball went all over the place. It was thrown backwards, thrown on the ground. The score, by the way, is 30 to 18.
Watch Boys here. He goes to pass it, and it's bumped down. Everybody stops, particularly the North's defence. Gordon Reid did just there.
Darryl Pitt picks it up.
Darryl Pitt looks up and said, "That's a try, isn't it, sir?" And the referee says, "Yes." Here it is again. Look at him now. When he goes down, watch him look up. Look at that. "Try, sir?" "Yes." He's still stunned about it. Look at him.
I don't think anyone knew it was a try.
Well, he's still a bit disbelieving as he walks back there.
Anyway, it still gives the Diehards an outside chance. A really pressure time for Hegarty now as he kicks the bucket away. Now, Hegarty can reach this. He has the breeze coming from his shoulder into the corner in which he is kicking. So he should get the distance. No trouble at all. It's a matter whether he hits it properly. Well, he's hit it out to the left, so no goal. So in Sports Sunday League, Norths lead 30 to 16. This is going to bounce. Fuller. Well, that was a very good dropout by Neil Wharton. He's kicked it against the breeze. He kicked it into space, and he had the Diehards picking up the ball on the halfway mark. So that was very good work from Wharton. Paletti running hard. Oh, he's trying to get his hands free. He was tackled. Play it, says referee Patrick. Daunt. Boyce runs into Bill Holmes. But running with a bit of purpose and determination. 30 to 18 is the lead for the North Devils. Williams. Daunt. Oh, into space is Peter Shields, and he will score underneath the post. And we've still got a game. And now North's lead by 30 to 22.
Oh, and who was the man that put him through the gap? Daunt. Watch this. Maybe we can watch him hold the ball up and just go bang. Everyone's standing except that guy. And he had to score a try, young Shield. because he botched it up something awful earlier in the game.
Well, that's Peter Shields'
Look at
seventh
this.
try.
Bang.
Sixth try for the year.
Opened him up, didn't he?
Underneath the post, so Hegarty will kick this and we'll have a ball game on our hands because it'll be 30 to 26.
$30 to 24, mate, I think, is it?
The addition's no good. 30 to 24 is right. He's kicked it. There's 6 points the difference on Sports Sunday League. Norths lead the Diehards by 30 to 24. North's taking the ball very slowly back to the restart where Wharton will hit it. Grubber kick. Boys on the toe, picks it up, runs it at the North's defence and he's dropped it. And North's come up with possession. Well, that's a bad mistake. Herman. Exactly 5 minutes remaining. Beats to dummy half for Simon Zara. 30 to 24. 6 points North's lead the Diehards. Now the touch judge is in.
Little bit of nonsense going on.
Alan Vaughan, the touch
Let's
judge,
see
in
what
to talk
happened
to
here.
Greg Patrick.
Williams. Now there's Gray. What did he do? Oh, that's what he did. Wouldn't upturn a limp fly, but still, it was the intention.
I don't think Jeff Fennick's title's in any danger.
Work out here, matey.
Norths have lost winger Guy Harvey, replaced by Shane McMahon. Harvey, being their goal kicker, has been replaced in that role by Daryl Duncan. And if Daryl Duncan slots this 2 points, I think that's the end of the day for the Diehards.
Well, he slotted more than a couple in his day. Cocky McMahon on for Guy Harvey. Guy Harvey played this match with a number of stitches just above the eye. He's taken a couple of heavy knocks. So Daryl Duncan, who has scored 2 tries, has a chance to seal the match. He's right on the quarterway and he's about midway between the touchline and the left upright. Time off, sir. You can hear the crowd. Mr. Patrick coming under heavy scrutiny in the latter part of the match. The Diehards bench are a little bit toey. And here's Big Darryl. 100 kgs about to let fly here. Hits it. And over. That's the ball game. Norths now lead by 32 points to 24.
2 tries and goal for Daryl Duncan with 32 and 24.
Hegarty kicks. That should be taken, and it is by Zara, and he ducks to Miss Lindsay Williams. He mightn't have got out of that unscathed as he holds his head as Gordon Reid takes the ball forward. I was thinking, Mick, that silly punch by Daryl Gray, after all the work out there for 80 minutes and a chance to even draw the match, and you give away 2 points like that, doesn't always figure in my mind.
Well, it's very hard to figure why he would do that. There was no reason for doing it as Duncan goes tearing up the middle, but you know, in that position, you know there's a possible 2 points on if a penalty is given, and he did it just the same.
Norths putting on the power well and truly with only 1.5 minutes to go. Mick, what do you see?
Well, Norths definitely deserved their win today. They've come out and they've tackled the Diehards into submission. Then they stopped the rot in the second half when it looked as though the Diehards were coming back. But top marks to Norths. I thought Marty Monaghan, the fullback, had a great game for Norths, and a great captain's game by Daryl Duncan. He was in everything. Looks to me as though he's carrying a bit of over the 100 kgs, but played a great game.
Andrew?
Well, no, I agree with Michael as far as Daryl Duncan's game's concerned from the first half. I thought he could have done more in the second half, but 2 tries and a goal you can't argue with. For Valleys, I think their 3 best players were Brett Daunt, and Brett Daunt.
I'm sure all 3 will sleep well tonight.
You didn't give me a chance at the Diehards, but I agree with you, Andrew, as North pick up another loose ball. Daunt was by far the best for the Diehards, and without him, the score would have been mammoth. I feel his cover defence was tremendous.
So in the dying seconds of the match, Kieran Jackson to play it to Neil Wharton, Daryl Duncan. He'll take the tackle. 10 metres out. Wells, Herman. That's full time. And that's it. Norths have defeated the Diehards. The Diehards suffering their first loss of the season. North defeating them by 32 points.